Hello? What's up, people? Hello? How y'all doing? What's up, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Hey. What up, what up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Alright. Let me turn down the music a little bit so I don't have to scream. There we go. How y'all doing? Okay. Alright. Let me tell you all something before I go through the classic introductions, because I don't want to forget. It is very important. Everybody, remember, tomorrow there's an open house at the school. Super exciting stuff. So, if you're interested in 3D, you're interested in the school, don't worry, I'll be getting to Unreal stuff. But people, there's an open house. Don't miss the opportunity. Hold up. Let me show you guys. There we go. So I'll link this in the chat. And if you have any interest at all, come join our open house tomorrow. It is free. It is fun. I'll be there. There'll be teachers. There'll be staff. There'll be other 3D nerds and stuff like that. So, and there'll be people that are also just interested in 3D and maybe haven't tried it before. So, if you want to socialize or if you just want to see something interesting, come join. Click the link, sign up, all that good stuff. Alright. And there's even a live boot camp at the open house, so it's a good opportunity to learn some more. Okay. Let's get back to the classic introductions. Alright, so today we're doing a boot camp for the people that have never been here before. So it's gonna be 1.5 hours of me taking you all through a subject from the very ground up. So from the very beginnings to sort of somewhat being comfortable in whatever the subject is, okay? So today we're doing Unreal Engine. It's an exciting one. I do like this one. And my name is Ono, by the way. I'm a student here at CADA as well. That's why I'm talking about the school and the open house. I'll be there tomorrow. Yeah, I'm in the 4th semester. And my art station is in the bio as well of the stream. So if you want to look at the stuff that I've done and what kind of stuff I like to do, then you can go look there. Okay, so Unreal stuff. It is very important, everybody, while I'm talking, y'all go download your Unreal Engine, get it set up, because at some point I'll start actually doing stuff in the engine and you all should have it downloaded by then, because I don't want anyone to be left behind. So, couple ground rules for the stream is all questions are super welcome. That's why I'm doing it live. So if you have any questions, if you get left behind, if there's something you're wondering about when it comes to the school, to the program, anything at all, just write it in the chat. You know, that's the kind of awesome thing about being live, is I can help you all through all those problems. And I know if you have a question that there's probably like 5-10 other people that want to ask the same question. So you're just doing everybody a favor. All right. Okay. So let's do a show of hands, people. How many of you all are completely new to Unreal Engine? So this is like your first time, or maybe you've just touched it. So hand up in the chat if you're completely new to Unreal Engine. So let me see that hand if you're completely new to Unreal Engine. Do not worry, I'll take you all through it. Great, awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, that's great. Love to see it. It's gonna be fun for you all. Okay, nice. Alright, let's get into it. So, download Unreal Engine. And then, on top of that, we gotta get the assets for today's stream. So I'm gonna be using a free asset pack on the Fab store. It's owned by Epic and Sketchfab or something like that. So here's the link to that, people. Go like claim this at least, and then I'll show you guys how to download it, how to set it up in the project. But make sure that you're able to like log into this website and claim the asset pack and all that. So download Unreal Engine, claim the asset pack, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Okay. Let me see, people. So, okay, was it for all the people that are completely new to Unreal Engine, like, do you need a little bit of time to download stuff, or was it manageable enough through the link? Like, did you actually set up it? Like, did you get it up and running and all that, or not really? Like, what you should have is this. So, you should have the Epic Games Launcher, and then inside of here, there's an Unreal Engine tab. And then you should be able to launch it right here. So, show of hands, if I click launch right here, it just says in queue to download, not downloading it. Mine is at 35% downloading, okay. I'll take it a little bit slow here in the beginning so people can catch up and sort of get to the point where they can follow along. So you all should be able to click launch Unreal Engine, and then you get this kind of loading screen. Also still downloading, that is fine. Do not worry. Okay, so let's do it this way. So how many people are able to get to this Unreal project browser? So show of hands if you're able to get there, like if you can click Unreal Engine, launch it and all that. So just want to see if there's like a part or chunk of you all that have gotten to this point. Okay. Because it is fine if you're still downloading it. I'll just be going through some like super basic stuff in the beginning, so don't worry everybody, you can still catch up. Alright, so we have some people there also sort of ready. Works for you? That's great. Okay, so I'll get started very slowly, and if you're still downloading, like just listen along and you should be able to get into it, because it really is some basic stuff. And maybe I'll talk a little bit about what Unreal Engine is in the beginning. Okay, so to start off with, to make it easy for ourselves, we will start with a preset map. Okay, so in the project browser, we'll choose a project that's already set up for us. So if you go down to games, you should all have this first person and third person blueprint. So for today, we'll pick the first person one, and then we'll go down here and name it something appropriate. So I'll call it Bootcamp Week 13. Okay. And you hit create, and then it'll take a little bit of time for Unreal Engine to create the project. And this project will actually create folders on your PC where all the information is stored. So right now it is literally making that file path on your PC somewhere. So make sure you put it somewhere that you're okay with it taking up space and all that. You should all be able to get to this point. So and I'll leave like a couple. Oh, hold up. I should be able to reset my UI for you all. Okay. So just get it up and running, get to this point. So I think once you launch, it should look something like this, if I remember correctly. Alright, okay, so let me talk a little bit about what is Unreal Engine, why Unreal Engine. You know, there might be some people in the chat that have used Blender or Maya or something like that, and you've never used Unreal Engine before. So the thing about Unreal Engine is it's very good at a lot of things. There are some things that it is just mediocre at, but what is it? It's very good at real-time rendering. Okay, so that is like the main draw of using this engine, and that can be a huge advantage in a lot of different things. So if you're used to something like Blender, for example, you'll set up your scene real nice, and then you'll hit the render button, and to get a picture out on your screen, it will take a little bit of time because the PC has to think a lot. Okay, so in Unreal Engine, there's a lot of shortcuts that makes it so it can literally render in real time, which means that I can move around my camera and everything looks nice, you know. And this is very useful for stuff like games, you could imagine, because if you want to play the game, you don't want to sit there and wait for every single frame to update, okay? It is also very good for filmmaking, like indie filmmaking, and even like other types of filmmaking where real-time rendering can be very useful. You can see the light change instantly, and you can move the camera around as well and see the scene update in real time. It can be super useful. There's stuff like Mandalorian, if you've all watched that. The backdrop of the actors are actually inside Unreal Engine as well. So you would have an actor walk around on the set, and then the camera would move in the digital space, and then the screen would move as well behind them, and that would be rendered in real time. Okay, so basics of how to move around is you hold down right click to orbit around. Wait, I should actually ask, like, are you guys actually in the scene? Hold up. So let me hand up in the chat real quick if I'm like, I don't want to rush too far forward, right? I hope you all opened up the third person or first person. Are you guys good? I'm in the first person scene, so I'm good. I put my hand up in the chat. Hold up. I don't want to lose everybody on the first step. Okay, good. I see some people are in. 27%, okay. Hopefully we'll catch up. Okay, that's great. Yeah. Okay, great. Is that making sense, by the way, people, why you would sometimes want to use Unreal Engine? Like, if you want to get that super realistic product shot of, like, I don't know, a soda can or, like, whatever product you're trying to sell for an ad, you might not want to use Unreal Engine because the lighting might not be as accurate as something like Maya or Blender. But if you're trying to get something that looks good enough and renders real fast, you'll use Unreal Engine. Okay, so for games, it's great. I hope that's making sense for you all. So to move around our scene, this main window here is where we see everything in our scene. We just hold down right click to look around, and then with WASD we can move around. Okay. So while moving, if you start scrolling on your scroll wheel, you can move slower or faster. You can fly around the scene, kind of like that. If you want to play the scene, like as if you're playing a game, you can hit this little green button up here. Okay. And now you're actually playing the game, so WASD to move around, and you can look around with your mouse. You can actually shoot as well with this little gun that you can pick up. You can walk up the ramps, you can jump with the space bar. So that's how we're going to be playing our level. Okay, you just hit escape to exit out that mode, and now we're back into the editor where we can move around. If we want to edit something in our level, what we're going to do is we're going to left click something. Okay. So if you left click it, you will see these arrows come up, which means you can move that thing that you've clicked. You have a couple different options to edit this thing. You can move it. This is the first option. You can rotate it. You can click the buttons up here to rotate it, or you can scale it. Okay. You can also click W, E, R on your keyboard to get the shortcut for those options. Control Z to undo what you've done. Is it also fast when it comes to render movies? Yes, it is also fast when you're rendering for movies. You can increase the render settings a lot and make it slower and slower, but in general it is very fast for even rendering nice looking shots compared to something like Blender or Maya. Because it takes shortcuts, that's the thing. Okay, so if you're rotating this thing, you might see that it is snapping, or if you're scaling it, it'll be snapping too. So next to your move options over here, you have the snapping options. So if you turn those off, you can now scale freely and move freely and rotate freely. Okay, so this is the main window where you'll see all the stuff in your scene. You do also have other windows that you can use for other stuff. So out here is your outliner. You might recognize something like that from Blender, and it's the same thing. This is just a long list of everything that is inside your scene. So if I select this cube right here, you'll see on the right it's called SM Cube 8, okay? So if something is hard to find in your scene, you can find it out here on the right in your outliner. So if I want to find cube number 11, you just search for cube 11, and then I see I have two different options. Okay, and there's two different cubes 11. Or if I want to change the lighting, I can search for light. Okay, I have some different options here. And now I'll show you guys something really cool. If you take the directional light, it was easy to find out here in the outliner. We can start rotating that. So if you look at the sun, and this is one of the things that makes Unreal Engine so cool, you can actually rotate that. You can see it interacting in real time with the whole scene. So you see how that affects the clouds, and then I can move it out the other way. You can see all the shadows, they will change on the ground. And you'll even get that sunset. Okay, super cool. I love the way it interacts with the clouds, it's really nice. You can move it beyond the horizon and get it nighttime. Okay, so I'll just leave it up there for now. Okay, so down here under the outliner you will have details. So the details, they're just a menu that tells you stuff about whatever it is that you have selected. So if I click this one cube here, you can see it says the location of it and some other stuff like the materials and things. We'll get into all of that. But for now, just know that it changes depending on whatever you've selected, and you can change the values around in this menu too, right? So you can drag it around in your scene to change the location, but you can also type in a number like 300 here, 200, 800, and you can move it around that way too. And you can change a bunch of other information about that thing as well. Okay, so that is like the basics of what we're gonna be using today. Like honestly, that's the crazy thing about Unreal Engine. You don't need to know too much to start making something very cool. So right now I just moved this cube over there, and you can see when we click the play button, the scene will have updated, and now we'll have to go around to get across. Okay, are we understanding so far? Like, these are the very basics, and I hope people are on board with all of this. So let me see. Yes, I'm following along, I'm understanding. Hand up in the chat if that's all good. And I have to do this every time because there's people that are completely new to the stream and new to Unreal Engine. So I do like to go through the very basics every time, okay? Alright, happy to see it. Nice. And it is okay to ask questions. If I'm going too slow, too fast, do let me know as well. That is completely fine. If I need to repeat something, I'm more than happy to do that. Okay. So we can start making a scene with cubes and stuff. Like I could click Control C, Control V to duplicate this cube. Or Control D to duplicate it as well. And I can try to make a scene out of cubes, but that's gonna be a little bit boring, obviously. So we don't quite want to do that. We want to import some cool objects to make our scene. So we need to open up the content drawer. You'll see a button down here on the left. You'll open it up here. You can click Dock and Layout. Okay, and then you can close it down. And then you'll have a content browser permanently here. Also close that. If you don't see this down here, you can also go to Window, Content Browser, open the content browser. Inside the content browser, as the name suggests, this is where we'll be adding the content in our scene. So if I want to import a bench into our scene, instead of making it out of cubes, I can make a bench in a 3D modeling software like Blender or something like that. Or I can find one on the internet and import it right into here. And then from here, I can put benches inside our scene. So if we go into this, we'll see we have a bunch of different things. Okay, so don't worry about those things right now. But essentially, we just have all the stuff that we see in our viewport will be stored inside this folder structure here. Okay, so here we have the mesh of the gun. We can just put it in the scene. And now there's a second gun right here. You can even jump on top of it. Okay, if we want to add stuff like lights, that's a different menu. We have the Place Actors browser right here. And I accidentally closed it. So right here. If you don't have this, you go Windows, Place Actors. And actors in Unreal Engine, they're basically just like an object. So there's a bunch of different types of actors. You can go to the light tab here. You can drag in a light, move it around. And now we have a light. There's a bunch of different types of lights and all that. Okay, now that is all good. And you're all telling me, oh no, okay, I'm getting bored of this stuff. Let's get to doing something cool. Let's get to doing something beautiful. I agree with you all. So let's get into today's asset pack, okay? So we want to import a bunch of cool stuff. How do we do that? Well, we go find it first of all, and I've already done that for you all. I went here, I found this asset pack. So if you claim this, which you should have already done, most of you all, I hope you can click on View in My Library. Okay. Of course, that is not gonna do what I expected it to do right away. Why is it not doing that? So View in My Library. Okay, that's fine. It's going here. Okay, so let me just do it the other way. If we go to our Epic Games launcher, why is it doing this thing? Okay, so if you open up your Epic Games launcher again, you can go to Unreal Engine, and then instead of just straight up launching it, there's this thing called your library, okay? Whenever you claim something on Fab, you can add it to your library. So you guys see, I've claimed a bunch of different stuff, and they're all in my library. So I can go ahead and add some of this stuff to my scene if I want to. But for now, I'm just gonna search for stylized fantasy. So stylized fantasy. And I'll see this asset pack that you have all claimed. You guys should be able to see this one too. And I can click add to project. And now I can select the project that I'm in currently. So what did we call it? We called it Bootcamp Week 13. I click that and I click add to project. So I already have it downloaded, but it should only be like 200-300 megabytes. So when you click add to project, it should download it for a little bit. and then add it as a folder inside your project. And I promise from here on out, it's pretty much gonna be like Lego bricks, and we're just gonna have fun with it. This is sort of like the technical stuff you had to get through to just like understand the very basics of how to use the software. But after this, it's like really, you can just go as hard as you want, just be super creative, just you can go from there essentially. So people, have you got anything inside? Have you been able to import something? Let me know if that worked for you all. It is a little bit of a process to go into Fab, claim it, go to the Epic Games thing. Yes, got it in my project, great. Last 5% of install, great. Alright, we can do the hand thing. If you have a folder, if you've been able to open up the content browser, you have a folder called stylized proven shell something. It's not downloading to Epic Games Launcher. So you might need to click this little Fab library refresh thing, and then you might be able to see it. Oh, look at this. We have a bunch of cool stuff in here. Ooh. Okay. Is anyone struggling with it? Do I need to go back and do it one more time or something? Or is there trouble? Where's the content browser? So the content browser, there's one down here called the content drawer. It's like one you can open up and close. You can also go to window at the top, and then there's a content browser drop down menu right here. You can just click content browser 1. It will open it up. I like to have it this way because then it's just like stuck in the UI. I think that's nice. Refresh helped, great. So to check if everything worked out fine, you can go to inside the asset pack that we just downloaded and made a folder for. Hold up, let me change this music. You can go inside here, and then you can go to meshes. You should have a bunch of stuff. You can drag in a barrel or something. Cool, got it, thanks. So just try to drag in anything into your scene and see if it works, right? The process is really not much more complicated than this. So we can drag in like a vase and a barrel. We can click play. And I need everybody to sort of be on board with this step. Like, I need everybody to catch up to this point, and then from this point on, we can just make a cool little scene together. So I need to, like, everybody, let me hear hand up in the chat or blue, yes, I got to this point, I've imported an asset, okay? So that's important for me to know. If you all, like, if you manage to get to this point, you're pretty much like 90% of the way there to making a cool scene. So I just want everybody to sort of catch up. If you need help, I'll help you at this point. Don't worry about it. I did. I have opened assets, but some of the meshes are black. Is there any workaround? So you might be seeing some of the trees as being black and stuff like that. It might be that your shaders need a little bit more time to catch up. So you might just need to wait a little bit. For the trees being black, we'll do a workaround together. %, on board. Sorry, thought I was faster. Okay, it's fine. I'm on board. Okay, great. All the trees are black. We'll figure out a fix for that together. Don't worry, it will be a good learning experience. Okay, let me ask it this way. Is anyone like really struggling and something is going wrong right now? It is okay if it is. Now is the time for everybody to catch up. For the people that are already sort of, okay, I got it, it's in, you guys can explore a little bit of the assets, like look around, see what's up. Okay. I'll assume that people are on board then. So for today's concept, what I'm imagining us doing is making a little... You guys know when there's a bunch of tall buildings and then there's like a little yard in the middle that's kind of enclosed in all the buildings? That's kind of what I'm imagining for today's bootcamp. Because then we don't have to make a massive environment around and everything, and the asset pack is like perfect for this. So we can look around and we can find a bunch of buildings and everything. And at this point, it's just literally drag and drop into our scene. We can put in a building right here. We click play and then we actually see it. You clicked on the map. Okay, so there might be maps in here. You can click on those. So we're not going to be using that right now. If you accidentally do that, you can go all the way back out to content, first person, maps, and then open up the first person map. Okay. So go right here, first person map, just double click it, and then you'll go back to the first person. We can also take a peek into the blueprints. So the blueprints are basically just assets that have been put together by other assets, okay? So there's a huge windmill here, which is cool. Right now we're just going to be playing around with what we see. We have these ground bricks. Those are nice. And we have other kinds of assets other than just models too, right? So if we go back out here, we have stuff like materials. If you look inside here, what do we have? We have something like a ground. We can put that in. We have, what else do we have? We have like leaves and stuff. Do we have a water thing in here? We do not have a water thing. That is okay. No, we don't have a water thing. So we might be able to use that at some point. Maybe not right away. But we could figure out some cool use for that. So we can just explore for a little bit. Works so far, great. Let me know, my Zara, if that helped you. Okay, so I'll just start out with cleaning up our scene a little bit so it doesn't look so strange. So to do that, you can just select stuff and click delete. Whoops. Control Z if you accidentally delete the wrong thing. So you can select, just delete, delete, delete. Maybe this thing we can delete it too. I'll go into the blueprints folder and maybe I'll just add like some bricks here. Hold up. Okay, I can turn on the snapping up here, rotate it 90 degrees, and then I'll probably make some kind of wall here. Okay, shift up, Control D to duplicate, Control D again. You can shift select multiple objects. So shift left click to select multiple things. And then you can Control D to duplicate all those things together. Okay, now we can delete that wall behind. And now when we hit play, we'll sort of have this kind of wall right here. Alright. So I'll just select all these wall pieces. Control D to duplicate them and then put them out on the other side. And right now I'm not super worried about what I'm exactly doing. I'm just putting stuff down so we can get like a sense of what the scene is gonna be. And it's really just up for people to be creative here. So I'm thinking of some kind of like, okay, let's say you walk under an arch and then there's like a central plaza in the middle of some kind of buildings. Okay, just a very vague, loose idea. And we just go from there and experiment and see what we can do. So we can go back into meshes. Let's look for some cool buildings. This thing can be like in the center of our plaza. There's some kind of towers. They can create a little bit of a frame here. And now you can like mix and match these buildings together to get like a cool effect. So that kind of looks like it fits right there. Or you could even do it like this. It's pretty cool. Shift select both of them, you can move them together. Let's see what else we have. Okay, I'm gonna delete this slide. Okay. There's a bunch of stuff here. There's a huge one. This one's very cool. This could be like our entry point, so we have some kind of archway. This is really the time for y'all just to play around, like just drag stuff in the scene, see what it looks like. You could even create some kind of elevation, that would also be cool. So if you want to make some kind of staircase, you could do that. So you can duplicate this out maybe. Move it up a little bit. And it's really just about using your assets as like little Lego bricks. You can put them together in interesting ways. Like for example, now we have a staircase, right? And then we can make a central plaza up here or something like that. I think that would be cool. Okay. So we might need to make our scene a little bit larger. And that's okay. We can make it a little bit bigger. Getting some kind of elevation here. Maybe we can duplicate these and just create like an extension, some kind of backdrop right here. So if we play this, you can see we're kind of creating some kind of, I don't know, like interest. So maybe all of these are a little bit too large compared to the player. You can just scale them down a little bit. So we can click play, see how that feels. And it feels more appropriate. Invisible slope is great too, yeah. So you don't get that gook feeling when you walk up them. This is fine for now, just for this stream it's okay. We can scale this up a little bit. And let's say you go through right here into some kind of central. All right. So let's make sure there's some kind of elevation. So I'm really just throwing stuff together right now. And I'm hoping I'll be able to fix it. So, because once you start throwing stuff together, that's when you really know, like, you know, what's gonna work, what's not gonna work. So it'll definitely not be perfect right away. But you kind of need to go through that imperfect state to get anywhere. Okay, and then maybe we can duplicate the ground here and just scale it down a bunch. So the rocks, so that's the, hold up, instead of inside meshes, that one is inside blueprints. So the blueprints are just objects that are made of a bunch of other meshes, right? So you might be able to find a singular block inside this meshes, but to find a bunch of them put together, you gotta go into blueprints. So if we double click this one, let's see. We can open up the blueprint and we can see that it's actually made out of a bunch of different little blocks. So if I move one of these blocks, you'll see that it will move on all of them together. So if you ever need to make your own custom wall, well, you can just make a new blueprint in here. So you can go blueprint and you can go actor. Okay, you can open it up, and inside here you can just drag in. If you go into meshes, let's say I wanted a barrel, but I wanted a barrel with some flowers in it. Okay, so inside here it's like a little mini scene that you open up in your blueprint by double clicking it. You can actually put in some flowers. Okay, Control D to duplicate it, E to rotate, Control D to duplicate, E to rotate. I'm just giving it a little bit more volume. So now we have a barrel with flowers in it, right? I hit compile, save this asset up here, and now when I go into my blueprints where I created that, I have a new blueprint, and I should name this, right? So hold up. Wait, I totally forgot how to rename. Wait a minute. Why did I forget that? Happens when you, right there. So rename, I can call this one flower barrel. Okay, and now we can drag out a flower barrel and we have it in our scene. So that's kind of why you can't find this one inside the other folder. Okay, it's really cool. Definitely. Just let me know if you're struggling to catch up, if there's anything I can do to help you, or if there's like a specific thing that's not gonna make sense or something like that. I'll be happy to help you. Okay, so I'm gonna make like a little flower, little step with some greenery in it right here. I think that would be cool. Just to break up the rockness of it all. Right here I could have some rock though. How to rotate? Yeah, it's E as well, and it's up here. So when you rotate, by default it'll feel like a little bit like it's snapping. You can turn that off by clicking this little icon right here, and then you can rotate freely. Let's say you want to snap to like 45-degree angles, you can do that just by clicking it. Okay, I think that's cool. Let's get some flower pots in here maybe. So we have some other blueprints. They kind of did the same thing that I did. Oh, but there's like planters for the window. Now we want something bigger. Let's just delete that. Let's try to get some trees in here, okay? So if you've messed with the trees already, you'll see, you might have noticed that they will come in as being black, okay? So I don't exactly know what's going on, but it's some kind of glitch, right? But it will give me an opportunity to teach you all something about materials, okay? So the reason why it's black is because there's some kind of bug with the material. Could you make a little river using the blueprint? You probably could. So maybe we can try that in a minute. But to fix this, you have to go out here on the little details tab where it tells you details about the little thing that you have selected. So we have two different materials here. So one is for the stem and then another one is for the leaves. So if we go out into our asset pack, we also have a tab for materials. That's the one we use to put the greenery on the ground. So if we just take this green material and put in the leaf slot, then all our leaves will just turn green, okay? And that looks a little bit weird. So let's see if there's a different kind of material in here that'll fit better. And I already tested this, so I'm gonna cheat right here. There's a tree flora down here that we can put instead. And then boom, we got a little tree. Okay. So you could put in tiles as the material too. And then you'll get leaves that look like tiles. But that's not what we want. We want this tree flora. So I see some of them are bugged, but you can find one that works right here. So this one works fine for me. And that is the same with every single little object except the blueprints. So yeah, this ground here, for example, you could put like weird like tiles on it and everything. Of course, the material has to be set up for it, or the item. But yeah. So I'm not really worried about what's on the other side of these things, because we won't really see it, like on the outside. I just worry about the inside here. So we'll kind of spawn into this little area here. And then we can walk up. So it looks pretty cool. I'll move the windmill a little bit. It is nice to like put some buildings out here just so it feels like we're inside a city. just so you're not looking up at completely blue sky. So maybe it could be there's some kind of elevation in the houses here. So let's see if we can see that. Yeah. See how that feels kind of cool. Now it feels like we're actually inside the city a little bit. Then we need something behind too. Okay, let's find like one last house if we can. We can just put one like here. So just to give it something, yeah, nice. Do like this windmill, so maybe we can put one more. We're quickly getting something that's kind of cool. So I'm just creating like some layers of depths. Just gonna feel like we're placed in a world somewhere. Okay. Kind of want to create that layering. So when we look back, something's happening. Well, this one doesn't feel super nice, but maybe this one would connect here. That might look cool. How to see the fantasy assets in the content browser. Yes, of course. So there we go. You guys see how this side feels very much like you're in a city somewhere, but then this side, it's not too bad as well, right? So you guys see it feels like we're placed somewhere now. But you can already tell like behind here, it feels very empty, right? So we have to fix that. Okay, so let me go over. And for people as well, you can save. So you go save current level as, and then you can pick somewhere to save it, and we can call it Bootcamp City. Okay. So now you will have a Bootcamp City level here, which will be different from the first person blueprint that we were in before. So we should technically be able to go back to like maps, first person map, double click that. And then we're back to this, where we started. But we can also just go to Bootcamp City. And we're back here. So it's stored as like a different level. Okay, so how to get the stylized stuff in your content browser right here. You gotta go to Fab. So right here, you gotta claim it. Okay. And while I'm explaining this, you all can just keep having fun with your scene, right? So once you've claimed it, you gotta open up your library. So open up your Epic Games launcher again. And then inside the Unreal Engine, you might start on News. You go up here. There's a tab called Library. You can refresh your library. But then if you search for Stylized Fantasy, or you might be able to see it right away, you will have this Stylized Fantasy Provencal. I don't know. And then you can click Add to Project. And then you just gotta select the project that you've made, and then you just click Add to Project. And once you've done that, you'll get a folder right here. And then you can open that one up, and then you have meshes, you have blueprints. So blueprints are just a combination of different kind of meshes. Alright, glad to help. Okay. I know if someone already has used Unreal Engine before, like feel free to also import other assets that you might have had. You could make a little bit of a mix, that's cool too. Okay, how about we use a new tool? Alright, we can use a cool tool. So you could go in here, you could drag in all these flowers manually. Like that'd be totally legit, and then duplicate them out. But you can also use something called the... Hold up. Oh, I can't see because of my webcam. What is it called? Mesh foliage. So there's a foliage brush inside Unreal Engine, which makes it so you can brush on all these flowers and stuff like that. So when you click it right here, you have the normal selection mode. That's what we're used to. There's a foliage mode in here. You can drag and drop a bunch of flowers inside here. Okay, you can just click save on all of these. Yep. And now in the area where you paint, a bunch of flowers will appear. It's kind of cool. Okay. You can adjust your brush size here, the density, so we can lower the density a little bit. We can paint them. Okay, we don't want them growing on the rocks. So if you get that, you can go in here with the eraser. So I got some up there. I can go in with the eraser, just delete them. It's looking very nice. Maybe we can add some fencing right here. So we can go back into the selection mode. Duplicate this fence out. It's kind of cute to have those blue cubes there right now. I'll just let them stay. Okay, so I put something where the player spawns. So we can just take the player start and then move it. Okay. You can also rotate it. Now when we start, we're going to start right here. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's get to work on this central plaza right here. So I'll just make a base for it real quick to begin with. Let's see how much we need. Yeah, just hold shift down. You can click multiple objects. Should be the same as Blender. Can create some kind of enclosing here. You can scale stuff up too, if you want to be real cheeky. If it does that weird, like, they call it Z fighting, where it's like glitchy, you just have to move something a little bit. So under all these bricks, I'll just like, so I can go into my basic shapes here, put down a plane, right? Scale it up so it fits a little bit. And then just like move it underneath just so we can't see like open skies underneath. Okay, just so there's something blocking that. If we walk up here, let's see what we have. It's very cool. Then maybe some kind of big castle right there in front. A big castle with steps that are like way too big. I think that would be a cool idea. Yep. There's definitely smarter ways of doing this, but this is the most, it's just like an easy way for you all to get into it. I'm not trying to do these things like the fastest way or something. I'm just trying to make it as simple as possible today. So if you're thinking there must be a better way to do this, there most definitely is. Okay, great. Okay, let's make that the end of our level so you won't actually walk up there, you'll just see it. Can maybe make it a little bit in the distance too. Okay, let's add some interest to these sides a little bit, so it's not so boring. This could be like a little market or something like that. Great. Okay. How are you all doing, by the way, people? I kind of went silent for a while. I've just been creating stuff. Are you all good? Is it making sense? Like, are you guys able to create something? So I'll put my hand up. I'm able to create something. How's it going for you all? Legos in 2050? Yeah. It's going good? Okay, I'm happy to hear that. I'm actually enjoying this asset pack, so I'm just creating stuff right now. Alright. So I will say, let me just remind everybody quickly that there's an open house tomorrow. So if you're enjoying what you're doing, if you're enjoying 3D, it might be worth checking out. I'll be there. So I'll link that one more time. So we have an open house happening. Come join it. I'll be there. Other people will be there. There's a free live bootcamp and everything. So, and soda. Come join us. Say hello. Yep. Creative flow. That's nice. I'm good. Yeah, this asset pack is kind of nice, huh? Do these windmills spin? They do. How about we create something really cool? What if this castle had like a windmill like attached to it? Like a big windmill castle. Yeah, that's cool. How did you make the flower in the barrel blueprint? So I can show you. Should we do something other than a flower in a barrel this time? How about how about we put some flowers in this crate? Okay, let's make a new blueprint. So we go into the blueprints folder just to be organized. You right click and then you can add what's called a blueprint class, okay? And you just select actor from here. An actor is basically just an object, so don't worry about that. You can call it whatever you want. So I'll call this one flower card. Okay. So in here you can double click and now basically a little mini scene will open up. So inside this mini scene, you can drag and drop whatever you want. So if I go back to my meshes, I can find my card and I can drag it in. So now I have a card in here. I can add a crate to this card. And whatever we add inside here, that will basically become our blueprint. So do we have like a plank of some sort? We can add this kind of crate. Okay. So I'll do something like this. So it feels like there's a box inside this card. I don't know, something like that. And then on top of this, we'll plant some flowers. So we can enable snapping on these flowers if we want to. So this little button with the 3 arrows, you can turn on surface snapping. So when you move it, it should snap to surfaces. I guess it doesn't do it in here. Oh, okay, oh well, we'll just place them manually. Oh, what's happening? Why? Oh, okay, it's a different type. You gotta, if you use the foliage brush, you gotta make sure you pick the right asset. Okay, so you can just fill up your card with whatever flowers you feel like. Okay, I kind of parented them weird somehow accidentally. Here you can also just shift click. Okay. So it's like a little bit of orange here in the front. Alright, there we go. So now we have a flower card. And I can just click compile and save, whatever. So back inside our blueprints where we created that thing, our flower card is indeed there. And now we can pull it out into our scene. And now we have a little flower card. You can rotate stuff locally. So if you want this kind of rotation where you can do that, you can just hit the button up here. So instead of rotating always the same way, you can rotate it based on whatever object you're selecting. I hope that made sense. me turn off the snapping thing. Got it, nice. Alright, it's cool. This card is way too big for some reason though. It's pretty cool, huh? Can add some more greenery here, maybe. You can also play around with the sun angle. So if you search for directional light here, oh yeah, water, like a river or stream. Let's see what they have. So I mean, if they don't have a tool for it, then we can't really make a stream super easy. We can make sort of a little lake, maybe. Is there not a tool in here somewhere for that? Let's see, it could be we're lucky. Oh, there's a river spline. Okay, let's try to drag that out. Okay. How does that thing work? Okay, I'm not exactly sure how this tool works. But I guess you would have to make sure you have a landscape that fits it. So let me just save real quick. Let's say you wanted a big landscape with a river or something. You can go into landscape mode right here. Okay, you can create a landscape. You can make it like a lot smaller just for demonstration. Okay, we click create. So with the landscape mode, you can create a landscape. By the way, people, we are getting closer and closer to the end of the stream. So if you all have made something and you enjoyed today's stream, even if you're halfway there or like 1/3 there, whatever it is, I do love looking at what everybody has been making, and we do post it in here, and it's super nice. It's a nice community, so if you're not part of the Discord already, I would encourage you all to come join it. So I'll get you all a link right here in the chat. So whatever you have, you guys can post it there. I'll take a look at it. It's super cozy on there. I'll probably start doing that in like 5 minutes or something like that. This is taking a while. Maybe I should have turned down the settings a little bit. Right, so now I have this landscape here. If I go back into selection mode, I can go in and then turn on the landscape material. You can put like a green material on it as if it was grass or something. Okay. And then we can go to landscape, and then there's these sculpting brushes, okay? So you can go out, you can go in with control. So if you want to make a river, you could make a small brush. Okay, and I'm just gonna rush it, but like making a river is like a whole thing in itself, right? Oh, did I get that wrong? Oh. What the heck? How did I get turned upside down? That's insane. Well, that's a first for me. I don't even know how to do that. That's insane. Okay, so where were we at? Can make a river by carving in. Okay, shift to carve in. And now if we go put like a plane inside, I guess you would use that tool they had, like the river spline. But a simple way to think about it is you put a plane in here. Okay. And now you give that plane the water material. Okay, and then you got like a little lake, and obviously if you make a long lake, that would be a little river. Then you would decorate the banks with like some... So you go back out into the selection mode, and then... Oh, my camera was blocking that. Hold on, let me get out of here. Down here there's a landscape material. You just have to enable it, and then pick a material, put on it. So I just used that grass landscape, or this one, ground vertex paint. You just put that on there, and you get this. And you can go in and decorate it real nice, or you can put some rocks. Oh, so this one has a bugged material for some reason. So you can go in and find another rock material, put on it. Okay, maybe we can get some trees out here. Okay, same thing. The material is bugged, so we can go find the tree flora, put it on there. can go into our foliage brush. We can paint a little bit of flowers in here. How did you put the water in there? So the water, what it is, I'll go. I just went into the place actors tab. I made a plane. Okay. And then I took my material. So there's a water material in here somewhere. Oh, am I missing it? Yeah, right here, water master. You can put that on the plane. And then what I did is I just took that plane, scaled it up real large. Moved it into place, scaled it the other way, and then you have a little water. So the landscape one more time. So you go up here, landscape. You just set your settings here. I would make it as small as you can with what you need, just so it's not too heavy. You click create. Okay. And then once you've clicked create, you can use the sculpt tools you have up here. So just left click to go up, shift to go down. Okay, so I could go in here, I could go up, or I could go down. Once you've done that, you can go into the selection mode, select your landscape, and then out here on the right side, you can add a landscape material. That's it. Okay. I hope that's all making sense, people. Alright, so I'll take a couple screenshots and I'll post it in the chat. The Discord chat. I'd be really happy to see some of you all post in there too. So, oops. So to take a screenshot, you can use Windows Shift S to get the snippet tool. You can also search for it here, snippet, clip it back to it, it's called in Danish, click new, and you can take a little screenshot. Now after you've done that, you can go on Discord, click Ctrl V, and it'll post it right in there. Okay. So Windows Shift S, you can just search for it too. Oh. So I'll take some screenshots of my scene. Okay, I'll move this landscape out the way since it's I can also hide it right here. I'll just delete it for now. Oops. Oop. Just take a couple different angles, whatever I think is cool. Boop. And I'll recommend everybody also take pictures of your stuff, because I'm about to look at all the things. You can also go here, search for snippet or clip or something, clip effect type. You can take screenshots any way you want. That's boop. Alright, so hit it with a little monkey dance. Boop. Alright. The material for landscape is not working for me. Oh. Weird. Is it because it's grayed out? Because you have to click that little box next to it to check it on to make sure that it's actually working. So you see right here, this one will be, hold on, let me, so okay, so under the landscape there's this landscape material, right? To use it you need to click this little box here to actually turn it on, and now you should be able to drag your material in. So you should be able to drag it in right here. And drag in any material. That's kind of weird. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. I'll give it a couple minutes to get the screenshots in, people, and then I'll look. Okay. Alright, nice. I see some submissions. So first one is from Helen. And I think that is a very cute scene. I love the little visual interest of whatever this thing is that's sticking out here. Got the flowers, bench and stuff. I like this. This feels more lived in. And I like that. It's a nice little cityscape. I like the little details of the vases and stuff. Vases on top of things. Flower growing on the rock. We like to see it. There's also a little eraser tool that you can use inside the landscaping brush. Very good job, Helen. I mean, that's really good. Like, if you're pretty new to Unreal Engine, I think you did a great job. Like, it's an amazing first result. So, looks beautiful. Ombrologica. Ooh. I like this too. It's like an actual courtyard that you could walk around in. This feels like a game kind of scene with the scenery in the back. It's very nice. I like that we got different results today. That's beautiful. I'm happy to see it. Could even look like a Valorant map or something like that. Yeah, very nice. Good job. And you got the... what were those called? Like little leafy greens growing on stuff too. Could have used some of those as well. You got them here too. It looks very nice. Beautiful, guys. Leruta. Oh, the video too. Very nice. So cozy. I'm happy to see the results this time. You all really crushed it. It's beautiful. Then the still frame. Nice. That's awesome. I hope you all like are happy to see your own results as well. Like, these look beautiful. I'm happy to see it. I think maybe I could go in here with my directional light and boost it a little bit, huh? Yeah. That looks nicer. That's very nice, people. Alright, I'm happy to see it. Before I, go on and all that, if there's anyone that's like, oh, I'm about to take a screenshot, whatever, write in the chat and I'll wait for a minute or something. Yeah, congrats everybody, those are real nice. But as always, like, if you're still working on it and you want to post in a little bit, I'll be looking in the chat, so feel free to post after the stream. And if you're watching this not live, but on the YouTube, feel free to post it in the chat anyways. Even if it's a couple days after or whatever, I'll still love to see it. I'll still check it and all that. Give you a minute. All right. Xena. Oh, it's a little bit more cinematic. The door to a different world. A door to nowhere. Maybe it could look like a gravestone too. I like it though. It's a cute little lake scene. Very nice, Xena. Beautiful. I love the variation we have here. It's very nice. This was fun. Thanks a lot. Yeah, no worries. I'm happy you enjoyed it. I used my own. Of course. Like, it's definitely worth posting. Like, even if you went off script and did your own thing, like, I just like to see people doing something with me on the stream, that's what it's about. It's about learning, Nora, nice. Okay, I see what you're trying to do with the river here. It's a good idea, like, to get it under the bridge and everything. Oh, what is that? Is that the same thing that was up here? It looks super interesting. Yeah, it is. Very cool. I love that. I like everybody's ideas. Like, this is a good idea too, with the bridge and everything. You got the little flower barrels. Beautiful job, Nora. Pat on the back to you. Okay. Yeah, no worries. Okay, I think I'm about to call it here for the night then. Oh, we got one more. Oh, that's sick. That is sick. Good job, Nyx. I'm guessing you're Nahel on the stream. Very good job. That looks awesome. It's all your own models too. Beautiful. That looks really cool. I like whatever this is. It could look like some kind of weapon. Like adjustable spikes for when the dragons come or something. I don't know. Awesome. That's really cool to see. Alright, people. I'm so happy about the results today. I think everybody did a good job. Like, very creative. That's awesome to see. I hope you all enjoyed working with this asset pack. I think it allowed for some freedom. It's a little bit easier to work with and all that. It is a weapon. Yeah, nice. Okay, before I get off the stream and all that, I just want to remind everybody about it one more time. But we are doing an open house. So go to CADA's website. You can read more about the education as well on here. But there's an open house tomorrow. I'll be there. Come join me. It'll be chill. Yeah, congrats everybody. It looks very cool. Super chill, enjoyable. I'm glad you liked it. And if you did like it, people, I hate to be that guy, but if you do like it, if you leave a like, it'll tell my boss that you guys actually enjoy the Unreal streams and I should do more of those. So if you do like it, like the live stream, it'll help me make an argument for me keeping these streams up, you know. So I hope you all enjoyed and learned something. That's gonna be it for me today. There will be more of these streams. In fact, next stream will be sculpting on Wednesday next week, same time, same place. I'll see you all then. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all will join me next time, because I do like that stream, the sculpting one. That one is awesome. Please do more. Yeah, I'll try my best to keep convincing people to let me do these streams. But you know, I think the feedback is always positive, so it'll be fine. Okay, people, I'll see you all. Have a nice rest of your evening, midday, morning, wherever you're at in the world. I'll see you all next Wednesday. Bye bye. Thank you all for joining.